Yes, it's another Monday, and yes, another Moohead Radio. I'm your host, Ironside. Mark,
Mark!
push my wheelchair around like the manservant you are. Now,
I am.
I have to update, to more timely.
No, you
Kind
don't.
yeah,
People
I
should
do.
just get your old 1960s references.
No, they
And fuck
won't.
them. Yeah.
No. I'll come up with new things. Yeah, right.
No.
Like I have time to do that.
Yeah.
I do.
What are you going to do?
Um,
End up with a Kanye West impersonation or something? Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that anyway. I think you should do Jeudy as Cary Grant would.
I don't do Cary
You
Grant,
don't.
but there
You
were
don't do
probably
Cary.
some men who did.
Yeah. And Brock Hudson.
Yeah. It's going to be hard. I hope Jim Donovan doesn't go Jeudy. I'm just hoping to God it's like it's like
Bound to happen.
back to pass Watson. He throws down the field. Jeudy, touchdown. I don't know.
You could imagine Howard Cosell, the dead Howard Cosell, doing something like that, though.
Yeah.
Look at that Jeudy run.
Yeah, it would be like right there for a man with a woman's name. He's not bad. All right.
Oh, we've gotten off on the wrong foot already.
He's not the jury. He's Judge Jeudy right now.
He's judging.
That's what we're gonna call him, Judge Jeudy. All right.
Yeah.
So there's so much going on, and how can I keep up with it all?
What's going on? Tell me what's going on.
Oh, the free agency thing, things that are, big for some teams and probably meaningless for others.
Yeah.
It is official that Russell Wilson is a Steeler. So,
Wow.
Good for them. I mean, that's a wonderful thing, a big 1-year contract, which will tell you how much confidence they have in him. Which, and what's really interesting about it is, no matter what the Pittsburgh Steelers will do, Cleveland Browns fans will go, I can't believe they got him. And it's like,
really?
Suck my dick. Make that stop right away. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, there's more going on. And I'm just paging through all of this. I can't keep up with all of this. But the biggest stuff.
What's the biggest stuff?
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, 4 years.
Atlanta Falcons. I mean, did you see what they paid that motherfucker?
No, I didn't. All I saw that he was going to the Falcons. Now,
my God! Let me see. I mean, that
how much
you're not going to believe this.
No, probably not.
Oh my God! A 4-year deal. He's 35 years old.
He is, man.
A 4-year deal. All right, and let's look at the analysis of this.
4 years, huh? Do you want me to price is right? Guess it, because I don't know. I really don't.
They're
know.
not even listing the price now. It's obscene. Wow. It was. I mean, I'm saying like 150 million. I'm not making this up. Now, Captain Fierce is saying that it's 80 mil guarantee, but what's the over 4 years? 100 million, is that right? I mean, he basically got the same deal that Baker Mayfield got.
Wow.
For Kirk Cousins. And he's coming off a right Achilles tendon that was torn.
No. He is like the ultimate 9-8 quarterback, though. If you want somebody that'll get you a 500 record, he is your man,
The perfect foot is torn. I'm a little shy. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing this.
His Achilles last stand, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they're putting their money on in Atlanta. They're supposed to be like, woohoo, we killed it. It's like, wow. Okay. I mean, Topaz wouldn't have done that.
No, Topaz wouldn't have done that.
He just wouldn't have done that. So I got to go back to the page.
Well, I'm like curious as to who the Steelers are going to get rid of, because you got what, Trubisky and Rudolph.
Trubisky's already gone.
He's already gone.
Yes.
Wow.
Hiding in Mentor.
Yeah, he's hiding in Mentor.
Mr. Luthor. Yep. So
wow. So he's gone. So that just leaves Pickett and Rudolph.
yeah. And so what does it tell you for a 1-year deal? I mean, they're not going to give him the starting position. It's Kenny Pickett again. I mean,
yeah,
no, I'm serious. They're
like
not. I mean, why would you disrupt a season if you feel that a quarterback is developing, which they seem to believe Kenny Pickett is? I'm sorry, Kenny Pickett.
the only thing he's developing is acne.
Yeah, it's a piece of work. You know, it's like when I say Joe Burrow, you know, and this is Kenny Pickett. Yeah, that's right. I have to get this stuff right. Oh my God. No, you're wrong. This is what the deal is. It's a 4-year, $180 million.
180
for Kirk Cousins. $180 million.
Wow.
I mean, that's like obscene.
That's excessive, I would say.
I mean, I'm like absolutely shocked.
We should stop just watching this game entirely and let it collapse under its own weight. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So, you know, there's plenty of stuff going on. We can, and there's Tony the Calf. Hey, Tony, he's gone. Hey, Tony,
guys, I can't be long because I'm in the middle of a shift. But all I can say is, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last.
Did you say you were in the middle of a shit?
He was in the middle of the shift. Yeah.
Shift.
I was going to say, no wonder the camera's shooting above you. Keep it up there. We don't.
Yeah, there were like aroma fumes coming up too. But, you get like those stink lines.
But no, I mean, if Atlanta wants to pay that for a fucking guy who could barely win a playoff game, more power to him. That's preposterous. He is. I'll give Kirk credit. He's the only he's a snake oil salesman.
yeah, the guy's made a ton of money now, hasn't he?
He has.
With this contract, he'll make the second most money in the history of the league.
Wow.
Oh, you gotta
love
it.
Unless it gets voided due to injury or something. And then he's only going to be 39 when he's done.
Yeah,
he'll get another contract from somebody.
He's coming off a torn Achilles tendon, and they gave him $180 million. How can that be?
I mean, I know that Atlanta's probably desperate for something because they think they have, some sort of core built down there. But holy fuck around!
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty whack.
Well, the only guy I could think of they got is Kyle Pitts. I know they must have like one or two.
Oh, they got that. They got that running back from Texas who's supposed to be pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Robinson or whatever.
And Texas,
Bejan or whatever.
I mean, Texas. The guy we had on the air, the Texas fan. I follow him now on Twitter. And boy, he gets annoying sometimes. He tweets every 10 minutes.
Don't we all, though?
That he has this bulbous heart on over everything the Texans do. And I don't have the heart to tell him, you're a losing organization and have been. Right now, you know where they are? They're on the Baker Mayfield high that we were on all the way back when, right?
Wow.
When we had beaten the Steelers in the playoffs, and Baker was going to lead us into the promised land. That's where he is right now. I mean, CJ Stroud had a great season. Don't get me wrong.
He did.
But there's going to be every team in the league looking at film,
we'll
watching
figure
what
him out.
He does.
Yeah.
And so they lost their running back. And so, but that, he was just posting all over saying, "Don't worry about it. We're going to get Saquon Barkley. We're going to get it." No
buzzword truth.
No, it's it's not a happening. The Eagles got Saquon Barkley, and I'll tell people who are trying. If you're trying to view us on Facebook right now, they're having trouble by people at StreamYard streaming to Facebook, and it's probably an issue on Facebook's end.
No doubt.
Don't worry about it. It's just kind of what it is.
I just saw Devontae Adams is preaching for the Raiders to get them better talent. They did this morning with what's his face from the Dolphins, but Aiden O'Connell was a great quarterback. Guess who they upgraded him with? Gardner Minshew.
Who did this?
The Raiders. Minshew to the Raiders for 2 years.
But what else did they do for? They spent a ton of money on somebody.
They got Wilkins that edged that D tackle from the Dolphins that I think the Browns were linked to too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now I'm having a bit of a problem here.
No.
Yeah, I am, but it I can't see the chat or anything. I don't know. I hit a wrong button. It's like, I'm sorry, I hit a wrong button. It was with my paw and I just reached out. And it's like, it's okay, Topaz. Yeah.
You're going to blame Topaz. So blame the dog.
And you're the one who farted too. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to get back. Let's see if I save changes. There we go. Okay, very good. So the Raiders are trying to trade for Justin Fields, according to David Talevsky. And, Christian Wilkins, everybody wanted Christian Wilkins so bad that they just, they bidded him up. My God, that's like an excessive amount of money. Now, Saquon Barkley went for $37.75 million in a bologna sandwich. But
correct me if I'm wrong, though. He's hurt every fucking year, isn't he?
Well, that's the reason. I mean, and so he wanted to play against the Giants because he got sick of playing with
he kept on getting hurt every fucking year.
Yeah.
So that's that. I don't consider that to be a big signing. The Christian Wilkins 4-year, $110 million. That's a big to-do. And he was the premier defensive tackle. Everybody wanted a piece of him. So he ends up going to Las Vegas to party because they don't have a football team, as far as I know. Last time I checked, they don't have a football team. Right? And he was a first rounder in 2019. He was a Dolphin, and so was Flipper. Big fucking deal. But yeah, that's a lot of money. 84.75 million guaranteed. That's a lot of money. Now, here's another interesting thing. T. Higgins has come out and said, I want to be traded. And I consider that an interesting thing because they were talking about franchising him and putting the tag on him, and they did put the tag on him. And now he's just saying, I just want to be traded. Get me out of here. And David, why don't you tell us which of the Ravens are gone? I know that Gus Edwards is gone.
Yeah, Gus Edwards.
He went to the Chargers, but to keep everything in my head is almost impossible. So yeah, just type in the chat, who they lost. It seems to me the Bengals got one of their defensive secondary guys, a guy named Stone. Is that right?
Yeah, Geno Stone.
Yeah, that's right. He had 7 picks last year for the Ravens, and the Bengals picked him up, and they needed they needed help in their defensive backfield for sure.
There was a report that literally got traction on ESPN and everything for 2 hours that Patrick Queen signed with the Seahawks, and then everybody realized it was a fake Twitter account that reported it.
Oh, I love it. I love it when they fake people out, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did see that there's talk that the Vikings are shopping Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was one of the dumbest things I've seen because it seems like we have a bunch of stupid Bengals fans all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know
Everybody
where they came from.
we're going to get
Kentucky.
Jefferson. We already got Chase, and then we're going to have Burrow, and it's going to be LSU North.
Yeah, but
Bring in Coach O. You know.
Yeah, but look how stupid this is. It's like, fine, we'll get rid of Higgins and we'll get Jefferson. And it's like, no, wait a minute. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, how are
Who's
the Vikings going to take
Jefferson for T. Higgins? Well, how is that going to happen? But they're delusional. It's like, whoa. So,
sure, we'll take your first 3 picks in every round for the next 7 years. Go ahead.
So Duvernay went to the Jaguars. That's right. And Geno Stone to the Bengals. And, of course, Gus Edwards went back to Greg Roman. It's like, at least he knows that he's going to get used there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like, get me the hell out of here. You turn the reins over to that Lamar Jackson guy, and I don't get the ball no more. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why Gus Edwards is gone.
Did you see who the leading candidate to replace Kirk Cousins is in Minnesota?
Let me think. Who would be? I haven't a clue.
Fucking Sam Darnold.
Oh no, you're just joking.
No, I'm serious.
Oh no,
there was a report.
They're going to tank. They're going to tank.
It's going to be. They're going to tank for that fucking Dion's kid, Prime's kid, Shedeur Sanders. But yeah, that the leading candidate is in the clubhouse. It's fucking Sam Darnold.
It's amazing.
I'm not watching football next year.
I can't even make fun of that. That is just so ridiculous.
I didn't even know Sam Darnold was still alive.
Can you imagine Justin Jefferson in a contract year looking at Sam Darnold and going, fuck this shit. What the fuck am I doing here?
God, man. Guy looks brain damaged. Now, yeah, we lost Mike Ford, who's a really good special teams player and a backup safety to the Texans. So, our Texans fan is probably going, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to us. Oh, my God. Okay.
He probably thinks they signed Gerald Ford.
He keeps falling for no apparent reason.
Yeah. And breaking down every 3 miles.
Yeah. So, again, the T. Higgins thing, we'll see how that plays out. This is his way of trying to put
so T. Higgins has come out then. He's come out, T. Higgins. That's good.
Yep. Now, the Jaguars have signed Gabe Davis, which was a name that a lot of Browns fans were saying, Gabe Davis. And they sound a lot like Corky. But all Browns fans are starting to sound like Corky to me. Yeah, well, he's got to work, and he'll get fired if he gets caught doing that.
Well, he'll get another job at Lowe's or whatever.
Gabe Davis. And it's like, oh, please, 3-year deal. At $11 million at signing, 39 million total.
Wow.
Anything that comes from Buffalo has to be great. He caught 45 passes for 746 yards.
That's like Elijah Moore numbers. I mean,
yeah, and he's only 25, but again, pure speed when the Bills were the Bills and they had multiple weapons that way. But Davis is not going to be a number one receiver. He's just one of those real fast kind of twitchy guys because he averages like 17.5 yards a catch. And that's fine. What Browns fans wanted, by the way, is anybody who can run as fast as Anthony Schwartz but catch better.
and run patterns.
Yeah. And it's just so we got Jerry Jeudy, all right?
We did.
And that's the reason, David, why the ticket prices have gone up is for Jerry Jeudy.
Wow.
I mean, but to read it on Twitter, he's the worst wide receiver that has ever existed. And they, you start reading and they lie. I mean, a bunch of people who just like automatically come up on the timeline and they're saying he had 18 fumbles. And it's like, what are you talking about? And then you look, and in his career, he's dropped 18 passes in his career. 1-2 the last 2 years, and it's like, oh, fuck you. Come on. Why can't you just tell the truth? Why do you put false statistics up? And the bottom line about Jeudy, and I've watched some film on him, and I know that he came out as a first-round pick out of Alabama, and that's all well and good. But he's better than what we have. He's better than Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I would give you that.
He runs better patterns, and let's be honest about why we did what we did. It's an illustration that the Browns offense isn't going to change one iota.
Yeah.
It's just that you've got to have another wide receiver who can get open better than Elijah Moore, or better than David Bell, or better than Cedric Tillman,
or DPJ for that matter.
Right.
He's gone.
Well, and what we have is a tight end who started looking like a game breaker finally, and once he's gotten his groove on, and with Jerry Jeudy, it gives us almost like a mirror image of Amari Cooper, in the sense that they run the same speed. Well, I mean, Jeudy might be a little faster now that the foot problems that Amari Cooper's had, but he's a 4.46 40 guy, and he's not afraid to go over the middle. And all of the things that you saw being done with Joe Flacco, that is the Browns need to use the middle of the field, but they have to be able to have receivers who have better feet. And to think about Elijah Moore, they got all excited about him because of speed again. And but I saw no evidence that he was a really good route runner or has particularly great hands. But with Jerry Jeudy, what I can tell you is that he has a good break out of his pattern. He knows how to shuffle feet quickly and cut and get to the sidelines, or do the opposite, get over the middle of the field to find a crease in the middle of the field. And he, at 6'1" and 193 pounds, he gives us enough of what we're looking for that way, gives us enough speed. But we're not going to be a team that just fires the ball down the field like Daryl LaMonica, old Oakland Raiders style, the Bombadero offense. It's not what we do. And we have to start realizing that the offense is going to be exactly what it has been. It's going to require better protection, and it's going to require, instead of just throwing the ball outside the hashes, being able to continue to throw the ball over the middle the way Flacco was doing, except hopefully with fewer interceptions.
I mean, I was looking at Elijah Moore's stats, and last year with Cleveland, he rushed the ball 9 times for a grand total of 11 yards.
Yeah, well, I mean, and a lot of those calls, the blocking wasn't there.
Yeah.
And he's not an open field runner.
No, he's not at all.
He may be straight line fast, but there's a difference between him and a guy like Eric Metcalf, to speak Browns language, to be able to get a guy who, if you give him a little daylight, he could break it all the way. That's not Elijah Moore on an end around. Captain Fierce is saying that Jerry threw his quarterback. What quarterback? By saying he wanted to play with Watson about a year or two ago. Well, and here's the deal. The Browns have been after him for 2 years. So he wouldn't have played with Deshaun anyway, because he would have been hurt. Not Jerry, but Deshaun was hurt.
Yeah, I'm not getting too excited about this because I remember when we got OBJ that Jarvis Landry was going to take him under his wing, and they were both from the same university. Now, apparently, Amari Cooper's meant to take Jerry Jeudy under his wing, and they're both from the same university, and they're both going to be pals, and we're going to have this amazing offense. And I'm just going to wait and see whether that actually happens.
Well, I'm not sure that that's the case. And the reason I say that is that Jerry Jeudy is a much more polished product than Elijah Moore, for God's sakes. So I'm not looking at it that way. I'm kind of so Drew Lock was the quarterback he threw under the bus. I think a bunch of fans should have thrown him under the bus. The organization threw him under the bus. He was not an effective quarterback. That's the other thing you want to look at. When you're looking at Jerry Jeudy's stats, I mean, it's really you can only be as good as what you're playing beside. And his numbers, I think his best year was a 964-yard season. Okay. And I'm just going by memory here. And last year was like 700 some odd yards.
Yeah.
And but you look at the Russell Wilson thing didn't work. The Drew Lock thing didn't work. So if he has a better scheme where he's going to be looked at and he's got a quarterback who is better than Drew Lock and an older Russell Wilson, then he's going to do better. And rather than getting into the is Deshaun Watson that guy argument, which is, we won't know until we see him. Just how he's come along. But Jerry Jeudy is not a bad acquisition. He's not a game breaker. He's not an all-pro. But right now, with David Bell and Cedric Tillman, Cedric Tillman didn't know how to run a pattern, and David Bell just doesn't appear to be fast enough to get separation. Got nice hands, but he just can't get the separation. We don't have that third receiver, and Jerry Jeudy will do a nice job stepping into that. And you can still work Elijah Moore into things if you want to work him into it. But I think the predominant three guys now, because we will always be going with multiple tight ends. We know that because it's Stefanski. You're going to have Njoku. You're going to have, just who we have Amari Cooper, and you're going to have Jerry Jeudy. And you're going to have Elijah Moore. And that's it. I mean, we're done with wide receiver. Now, what the Browns need to do is they got to pull in a linebacker or somebody, because Anthony Walker is past it, and they need somebody who's got the green sticker, the guy who directs the defense for the Browns. And they need a sharp-minded, aggressive-minded linebacker, because Sione Takitaki may not be that guy. So there's that. So the Bears have signed running back DeAndre Swift to a 3-year, $24.5 million deal. That was done earlier today. I'm still just absolutely stunned about Kirk Cousins. I just cannot believe that the Falcons, and what was so funny is like, and the Falcons haven't had a quarterback since they had. Now, could you remember the name?
Oh,
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
I
knew Matt Ryan. I was trying to think of some really old guy from the Falcons. Oh God,
Steve Bartkowski.
Yes. I'll give you some in a minute.
Yeah, but it's crazy that they would pay this. $45 million a year.
Drake London, they also have. That's the other guy I couldn't think of earlier.
Yeah, $100 million guaranteed for that quarterback. And what did we say about Kevin Stefanski? He makes everyone look like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, $180 million. Captain Fierce comes up with that. The Titans have signed cornerback Chidobe Awuzie to a 3-year deal.
Chidobe.
Yeah.
Steve Bartkowski, Bob Lee, Chris Miller, Jeff George was on the Falcons.
And loved by his teammates, I'm sure.
And Chris Chandler. But the most famous one, other than Matt Ryan's got to be Michael Vick.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the Eagles reached a 3-year, $51.1 million contract earlier with Bryce Huff, defensive end.
Great name.
And yeah, the guy was an undrafted college free agent back in 2020, and he became a really good edge rusher. And that's another loss for the New York Jets, which the hits just keep on coming for that organization and always will. Again, I only was able to put stuff up, because stuff is happening so fast. It's hard, The Commanders are signing ex-Panthers linebacker Frankie Louvu. I don't know Frankie.
Great
Louvu.
name.
Yeah. Ooh, Louvu, baby. Oh.
There's a lot of song titles to these guys.
Yeah.
You're mentioning.
The Panthers are in talks with the Giants about Brian Burns.
Wow.
Yep. Talks with Carolina. That would be important for the Giants, but we'll see if it actually happens. I mean, tight end Will Dissly to the Chargers, and I don't know that is significant.
Well, I'm just happy for Tony DeCalf that A, he's alive, and B, he got rid of Kirk Cousins. So there you go.
Now, defensive lineman Greg Gaines re-signing with the Buccaneers, who, of course, signed Baker Mayfield to a $100 million deal. And again, the Browns forums were full of, and Twitter was full of, I still just have unresolved feelings about Baker Mayfield. And I'm like, perhaps you should find yourself a new pronoun.
Or have a cold shower and
something.
But tell me, Cousins worth that much more than Baker Mayfield? Is that really true?
Obviously, in the eyes of the Atlanta Falcons. And, Baker Mayfield,
that's amazing.
For all the talk about Baker Mayfield, he was 2-6 against teams with winning record last year.
Yeah, well,
he's not that good.
Yeah, he's not that good, but
I'm happy he got $100 million. Happy for the guy. That's a nice payday. He's got
a lot of cheesecake.
3 years, 3 years worth of contract with the Buccaneers, and he better do better than 9 and 8.
Yeah.
Because we remember the last time that he did something and got into the playoffs, and the next season was.
Oh yeah, every other year, Baker.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it too, Captain Fierce. We won't have to talk about him now, because he's staying put for 3 years, right up the road for me in Tampa, and isn't that groovy?
Dwayne Stats has to talk about him. What would Dwayne Stats say? How would he announce that?
$100 million for Baker Mayfield. I sure as hell hope that he doesn't get another progressive contract. We're not housing him in this stadium. It's not going to happen.
Just, while we're doing Dwayne Stat getting a blowjob. Here we go.
Oh God.
Oh my God, I've never felt that. Oh God, so good. Oh, I've never felt that. Oh my God. It's a home run.
Oh God almighty. And get this.
Go.
The first free agent change has happened. A change of mind. Kicker Will Lutz, who agreed to terms to go to Jacksonville, changed his mind. And is remaining in Denver. Get at her, Denver, baby, go.
Wow, Will Lutz. That sounds like some Nazi goalkeeper from Escape to Victory.
Will Lutz. He willed his team to victory. Yes. Yeah. maybe he got a look at Trevor Lawrence and went,
Yeah.
long-haired hippie. I'm not going to be playing with that. And this is what we get. You guys excited about Jeudy? Seems like an underachiever to me. And it's like, now why would you say that, Michael? What do you know about this player that would make you say that besides the negativity that is pervasive in the Cleveland fan base? Explain to me, like I'm a 6-year-old, why you would say he's an underachiever. If you had Drew Lock throwing to you, what would you have?
I would achieve nothing.
No, I mean, and then they turn around with Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson was past his peak, so much so that the Steelers, who really do need a quarterback, signed him for 1 year. It's like,
1 year.
You can back up Kenny Pickett. We'll go to the other nostril. I don't want this one to start bleeding. Yeah. And, so we'll give you a year. And that's what we had throwing to him. I don't know why that would seem like an underachiever to you. Now, if you want to know underachiever, gosh, there's so many people. Where can I start about underachievers? The New York Jets are underachievers.
Yeah.
And
the Giants.
Now see, they eventually will come out of their shell. Let me guess, you're going to vote for Trump too, you MAGA bastard. You're just trying to. I love the way they try to get shit started. Yeah, Deshaun's way better. Way better. And he's better than you, and he would be better than you with your wife. So as long as we are straight on that.
So let me get this right. Kirk Cousins is worth only $50 million less than Deshaun Watson then, I guess.
And that's the point,
Okay. Is that the point we should make here?
Yeah, it's a sign of the times. I mean, you got to have a quarterback. And if you don't have a quarterback, I mean, the thing about the Texans fans who are going, oh my God, is that CJ Stroud came up aces, and that's wonderful. But yeah, it wasn't real pretty between Deshaun Watson and CJ Stroud, though, was it? You got to have a quarterback to move forward. And so that's that. And that's all they could get. I know he's experienced. Of course, his Achilles is ripped out, but he's experienced. And Baker Mayfield, one thing you can say about Baker is that he's seen the wars, Yeah. He has seen the wars. And he's been through a lot, and they feel that, hey, they can make something bigger and better out of Baker Mayfield. A lot of people have felt that way, but there's no way to make him bigger. He's short, and he doesn't see well over the line. He is great sometimes, and
he's
other times
predictably inconsistent every time.
It's really hard to put your finger on, why he'll make some kind of ridiculous blunder and throw into no man's land for no reason, and he's not escapable. So once he's forced out of the pocket, you have a problem on your hands, because then he wants to show off that arm and he starts throwing across the field, and that's how you end up with difficulty. Is that so? Anthony Walker is leaving for the Dolphins, and I know that the Browns, from talking to my sources, want linebacker help, and now we're going to need it. Now, Anthony Walker did a nice job in Cleveland when he was on the field. Got nothing negative to say about Anthony Walker. Now, Michael Seeley does. Michael Seeley, probably has a lot of negative things to say about Anthony Walker, but I do not. But can he help the Dolphins? If he's healthy, he can help anybody. But he wasn't healthy with the Colts before, and the Browns has just been a one season after another of a few games, and that was that. He get hurt.
Everybody gets hurt.
So here you go. Mac Wilson Sr. and the Cardinals get together. If you remember Mac Wilson, he spent the last 2 seasons in New England.
Alabama.
Yep. That's right. and he was what I called a straight line. Oh, big news! Big news! Za'Darius is back.
Za'Darius is back.
That is good news.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to keep our defensive line as strong as we can keep it, and that's important because that's going to help. Not only our offense stay in games, but it's also going to help Myles Garrett achieve more, assuming that he's not gassed by the end of the season. But Mac Wilson, who was what I call the straight line linebacker, he would come right at you and hit you. But if he had to change directions, you're fucked.
The thing about him was he was absolutely awesome in preseason, and then the real game started, and he sort of hid. So
yeah. Now to get more from Adam Schefter, linebacker Anthony Walker is a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. So
they think he's going to get hurt. Well, you know.
And it means that the Browns
didn't want him.
Yeah,
really
that's
that
right.
much.
I mean, they're looking, and that we know. So that's that. Oh my goodness.
So is there any proof of this Za'Darius thing? Like,
I'm not seeing it yet up on ESPN, but and I'm following their thread. It's constantly moving. But I believe David. I mean, I don't think
David says 2 years, $23.5 million.
Yeah.
So I guess that's Za'Darius.
That's that.
So there you go.
And Mac needed more time to develop. Maybe I don't know. Was he great with the Patriots? It's hard to say, because the Patriots were not great. So
he was drafted the same year as Taki, and Taki was drafted a round ahead of him, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, yeah, and again, we've got to shore up. When we've had always a problem with linebackers, like we have with wide receivers, it's been an ongoing thing. So, but that's good news about Za'Darius. Glad that he's back, and
no, the JOK's not a green dot kind of guy.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't think he is.
Well, Koromoa is a guy who made massive strides. And of all of the guys on the Cleveland Browns defense, he was the one who, even when the defense was just playing like shit.
Well, yeah, he had a good game in the playoff game, and when everybody else was rubbish, but he got burned too once or twice. I think he's more instinctual rather than a field captain, but I could be proven wrong about all this.
I think what he is more like the kind of guy who plays for the Ravens.
Yeah.
And you give him a system, and he's going to be really good. And JOK, I think, has been way more than what he was, and he's come on and built. So I mean, that's because people were wondering, all the he came from Notre Dame and all that shit. And it's not good.
I'm one of those that came from Notre Dame people. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but that is something I say.
So overall, so far for the Browns. Jerry Jeudy and Za'Darius, those are people that, we got to see who we're going to add to this whole thing. All right.
Ooh,
and another
Talevsky is scooping here.
Yeah. Well, Talevsky, it would be like I would be if I didn't have a life. No, I'm kidding, David. I'm kidding. He does a great job helping.
Biting the hand that feeds you. Why don't you? He's giving you all this great information.
That's what Mr. Moohead does. No, he does great yeoman's work to help program along.
That's a great word.
Maurice Hurst. So we're gonna be rubbing our bellies for another year.
Oh God, yeah, I love Maurice.
But we still need depth on that defensive line. We also, what we're not talking about when you get a wide receiver and you're bringing back some of your defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Then you start talking about the draft, and you start saying, well, what are they going to do? So scratch off wide receiver. That's been taken care of.
Got to be offensive line then.
Offensive lineman. I believe that
I mean,
linebacker, offensive lineman, and then anything else would be defensive assistance
best
/
player.
a special teams guy to
Yeah.
take over where Mike Ford was, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. So
Yeah, you don't have to be a big stupid moose to know that we need offensive linemen in the draft.
yeah, or at least to start grooming them,
Yes, groom.
because that's going to be a real important thing. And Captain Fierce is with me on this. Yeah, I think that we are going to be drafting a linebacker. And whether we get something in free agency, I don't even know who the best linebackers available are at this point. But a lot of it has to do with the scheme that Jim Schwartz runs. And we know how that works. There are going to be people who are more effective in certain schemes.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably people out there that Schwartz knows already that can fit his scheme that he's not going to say about until the league year starts, which hasn't happened yet, has it?
Right. So before we get out of here today,
we're going to get out of here. We're not going to be on here indefinitely, like a 12-hour.
But
like
if you want to
Texas,
get Talevsky's phone number, he'll be up all night.
He'll be up all night.
Yeah.
Him and Derek Frisbee will be up all night.
Yeah, well, that's why we're not hearing from Derek. Derek is like glued to everything. He's halfway up Adam Schefter's ass.
What were those pills back in the 70s that you bought like at university that keep you up that were legitimate? They were like out of the drugstore, but they didn't work. They were just caffeine. I can't think of the name of them.
What, greenies?
No, the ones that were just caffeine that you got at the drugstore.
Oh, I would know that. I got the real shit, man. I got the fucking greenies, and I was up for like 72 hours.
And your brain got fried.
Yeah, but you know what was really great?
Yep.
Was those 72 hours, I looked like Don Knotts. It was just, yeah. It was fucked up.
Aunt B started looking hot.
Whoa, Andy! It's the Sheriff Taylor fucking Aunt B. Andy!
Now, see, these are the references that young people need to learn, really.
That's doggy style sex in Mayberry. It's all wrong. For so many reasons, it's just wrong. No, Andy.
Pro Plus.
I could just see Andy Griffith, Sheriff Andy, doggy styling her and just saying,
"Yeah,
now what's my name, bitch?"
What's my name?
But we got to talk a little bit about the Cleveland Cavaliers before we get out of here.
Oh, my answer is Pro Plus. That's the tablets I'm looking for. But Black Beauties, you probably also.
Black Beauties were the ones that nailed me.
Probably,
yeah, those were horrible. I wouldn't
stay
wish
away
that
from
on
those.
anybody. See things out of the corners of your eye.
Everybody who took those is dead.
Well, I'm still living. I did it once.
Karen Ann Quinlan or whatever.
That was the last time. When will Donovan Mitchell return to the Cavs lineup? It's going to be a while.
Probably Miami.
I'm thinking maybe 3 to 4 more games.
Wow.
And that's that. That's the answer to that question. And the Cavaliers play again back to back from yesterday's fiasco where they just didn't have it and the Nets got hot. And that was the end of that. The injuries just keep mounting, and it ain't going to be any better. And with idiot Bickerstaff, he played Jared Allen all the way into the fourth quarter. Why did you do that? You're down by 26 points, and you got him out on the floor. You're a dumb fuck. I mean,
he's trying to kill
replace that coach. Yeah. He thinks he's trying to save his job. He's killing his players. The Phoenix Suns are at full strength now. I mean, Devin Booker is back. They got Kevin Durant. They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. And, they're 7.5 point or 6.5 point favorites as it sits.
That's a lot for
road team.
Yeah, that's a lot for Yeah, that's a lot.
And the Cavaliers, Dean Wade is out for a second day, it looks like, for personal reasons. Yep. Evan Mobley out. Max Strus still out. Donovan Mitchell still out. Ty Jerome never got started. And Tristan Thompson still suspended. So you don't have shit. If I swear to God, if I see Isaiah Mobley on that fucking floor again, so help me God. I mean, how does Bickerstaff's brain function that he would think that a slow, non-jumping, non-athletic guy should be on the floor before Imani Bates? Would you have look at the offense that's out and the length. Dean Wade, who would be a guy who would give you 3-point shooting and some length, who would play some defense for you, is not there. Evan Mobley is length, and he's not out there. Max Strus, who's running around and 3-point shooting, he's not out there. Donovan Mitchell, of course, is not out there. So what do? Well, of course, you play Evan Mobley's brother to curry favor, I guess, and then you put Damian Jones in the game. Damian Jones.
Not Damon Jones.
Horrific. He's terrible. And you play him along with Isaiah Mobley on the court at the same time, and literally the most horrifying thing. And
wasn't he in The Omen? He was so horrifying.
Oh,
Damien.
Yeah. Somehow, that movie was a lot less scary when you put Gregory Peck in it.
Yeah.
I think my son is the devil. I mean, somehow it just loses.
Was pretty wooden. Yeah. Yeah. Cary Grant would have been better for that. Damien.
Yeah. It just, I can't. I saw a portion of that original Omen movie,
right?
And the only thing that was decent was, Lee Remick being tortured by the spawn of the devil, and other than that, there you go. Watching Gregory Peck, I'm going to stab him.
No, it didn't work. He was way too slow.
Yeah, I mean,
he was slow.
That guy was slower than Zanino getting around on a fastball.
Isaiah Mobley, yeah.
So realistically, we should be playing Imani Bates to see what he can do. Not because we're going to win the game. We're going to lose by a ton of points no matter what we do. But we got to have somebody with length, and the guy's 6'9", Imani Bates, and he can shoot the three. So get him out there. Let's see what he can do. Yeah. But Bickerstaff is like, no, I'm going to go with extended minutes for George Niang, who's going to have a stroke on the court, a fucking heart attack on back-to-back nights again. We saw what happened to him the last time.
Wow.
It's going to be an ugly, ugly thing tonight.
No.
We just have to hope that the other teams keep losing. And one last thing.
Oh, do you have any 1 minute Guardian update or no?
No. I mean, Angel Martinez. They're writing about Angel Martinez as, he's the surprise of camp based on 15 at bats. It's like, shut up.
15 at bats. Wow.
Yeah, you have to dredge up that kind of nonsense in order to talk about the Guardians. But the Kobe Bryant statue outside of Crypto.com Arena. This is an unbelievable story. I mean, fans come by the gazillions to see the Kobe Bryant statue after
Does it cry? Is it like the Madonna in Italy where the tears come down its cheeks?
No, there's just flames all around. I don't know what that's all about.
Okay.
But it turns out there are a bunch of mistakes in the statue.
No.
You're not going to believe this.
Like the wrong uniform number?
No.
They spelled Lakers wrong.
No, almost. The base of the statue has the names of the players who participated in Kobe's 81-point performance. That included Jose Calderon, Von Wafer, but they've misspelled the names of Jose Calderon and Von Wafer in the replica box score.
Wow.
How do you, I mean, they spend all that money on a goddamn statue, and it's like, I don't know how I really don't know how I fuck up Calderon. I don't know. But Von Wafer, he sounds like some kind of a candy bar or something.
Yeah,
Von Wafer.
Vanilla wafers. Yeah, remember those Manila wafers?
Oh, God,
Yeah.
Manila wafers.
Vanilla wafers, that's the one.
So, at any rate, I thought that was just... And a German basketball journalist, Andre Voigt, took pictures.
Like another Nazi.
No, he took pictures and put them online, and they went viral on Monday morning.
Wow.
It's a 19-foot bronze statue. It's like, yo, that's bigger than mine, you know? Unbelievable.
Well, at least he wasn't a fictional character like Rocky, or, you know.
Yeah, he's in his number 8 jersey. The planned location and unveiling date for the other 2 statues, one of Bryant's in his number 24 uniform, and the other with his daughter, Gianna, who also died not the crash, are still to be determined, but hopefully they'll spell it right.
Wow.
Unreal. I'm done here. But
How
hey,
many statues does he need? Like, are they going to name a high school after him as well? Or what
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Kobe Bryant High School?
Yeah, but nobody's named a high school after Michael Jordan because he's an asswipe.
Well, he's not dead either. So maybe when he dies, they'll name a high school after him.
Something to look forward to.
Mm.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I don't like Michael Jordan. Thanks for tuning in.
I don't either.
To this edition of Moohead Radio. Moose of Truth, thank you for joining us. David Talevsky and everybody in the chat room, Captain Fierce, and all of you, thank you for your help.
We have a Dick Goddard send-off here. What's the weather like? He's dead.
I can tell you about the weather in Northeast Ohio, it's on acid. It's like God is on acid. One minute it's snowing, and it's in the 50s, then it's 70. Down here in Florida, it's really pleasant. High of 77 degrees, low of 58. Up in Cleveland, nice. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Thank you, Dick.
Yeah, you're welcome. But everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in, and thanks for the help in the chat room. Seriously, I appreciate my fingers are moving around all over the place and trying to figure out what's going on when we have a show like this. But I thank also for people showing up and listening to the program because it was about the Browns and not about whatever else. Yeah, right. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you again on Friday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.